Hi there guys, and welcome to another Thomson 2018 video. Today we're looking at something new, special, and that none of you have ever seen before on a video. You might have seen it if you're part of a beta testing team or whatnot, but you won't have seen it on a YouTube video. I want to start off with a caveat. This, guys, is work in progress. This is very, very much in the alpha stages, and there may be bits that change or differ or are missing, or there might be, I think there's some track wobble at some point, so there will be bits that will not be perfect with this. This is very much a work in progress. Right, to get on to what it is now. I was contacted by Darren Port from DPsimulations, and he asked me if I would be interested in showing off their latest route in stages. This is the first stage I've been given to show you. And what you're about to see is me driving it for the first time as well. I'm already very impressed. It already looks very much up to DPS's standard, with the cable trunking down the right hand side there, and I can see some West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley assets up ahead in the distance. Yes, so this is the North East England route. The blurb for this scenario isn't actually included in the thing, because this was one that was one of the test scenarios that I've been given to do, and it basically says: a Newcastle-bound Virgin cross-country service on the approach to Darlington. The driver has been informed that a broken rail at Ferry Hill will mean they will have to divert via the Durham coast. Change ends at Darlington and go via Eagles Cliff. That's all I know. That's all I know. The scenario is set in 1999. We are driving a Virgin Cross Country Class 43 with a 43 with buffers on the rear, as far as I can work out. I'm excited. I haven't got the branding patch actually for the Virgin Cross Country HST installed at the minute, because I've just reinstalled all my AP stuff. And just to add, that doesn't come from Ultron Powerhouse. That's a fourth party creator that's done that. Another person's done that. Right, you on, you two off, you there. Rear cab. We want you on. Alright then, let's get moving. We've got a clear signal. Nice bit of clag that end. Nice bit of clag going on up here. I'm not going to dive in and show you the route map. I've had a look at it, but I don't know if Darren wants me to show that off yet or not. All I know at the moment is that this is in his words, a portion of the network that's being included. So I'm really excited. I still don't know loads of details about it. I've literally been given this, told the scenario, give it a drive, make sure everyone knows it's work in progress. It looks very East Coast mainliney, doesn't it? There's no station signs and stuff included just yet. That's coming in another pack. Oh yeah, see these. I think they're to do with drainage. These bits here. But it's just nice to see them included. The cable trunking down the side. Disused sidings all weeded over there. It's looking good so far. Not excessive use of foliage or anything like that. Anyway, this isn't a review. This is where it is. It's a first look, isn't it? And remember, guys, this is a work in progress route. It isn't available. I should have said that at the start as well. You can't go and download this. Please, please, please don't fill the comment section with where can I get this from. The other thing I can't tell you, and I'm sure Darren probably couldn't tell you either, is when this will be released. These sorts of things take time. These are done as hobbies. These are third-party guys, freeware. people pushing for when's it going to release, when's it going to release, when's it going to release. It's just rude. It's just rude. It will come when it's ready. I'm sure if developers had something and an expected time for it to be released, and they were confident with that, they'd give it to you. But if you see a bit of work in progress, don't just keep asking when it's going to be released. It is a bit tedious. If they wanted you to know that, you'll have been told. Trust me, these guys want their work out there. They want their work out and known and driven and played with and all sorts. So they're not going to hold it back. They're not going to hold it back on purpose from you. So yeah, just to restate, this route isn't available. I don't know where you can get it from, and I don't know when it's going to be ready. I know when it is ready, it will be available from DPsimulations, because they're making it, but that's all I know. Right, so by the looks of it, we're heading down to Darlington, then we're going to reverse out of there. See where we're going. TP158. I love the 3-car 158s in the old Transpennon livery. When they were replaced with 185s, all the 3-car sets ended up at Cambridge. Well, quite a few of the 3-car sets ended up at Cambridge Depot for a little while in storage. Used to see them crossing the Coldham's Lane Bridge. And what I also like is like the little addition of colour in the hedgerows and the different styles of fencing. I mean, you've got the purple flowers on that side, you've got the little yellow root posts and all that, you've got the AWS boxes. Now these sorts of things by themselves, one at a time, you don't really tend to notice, but when you mix that all in with the cable trunk, with the culverts, the drainage ditches, the right speed signs, the colour in the hedgerows, it's just makes for a much more alive feeling route, and that's something DPS always seem to get right. Those in Armstrong Powerhouse seem to really nail it. Drums lying around, yeah, it's lovely. So not a lot. I know a lot of people have been looking for the Durham Coast route. It's been something that has even been partially done before by another developer, but I have to say that this is completely from scratch by DPS. They haven't used anybody else's work. I know somebody else was having a go at it at some point, but DPS have done this all themselves, which is why they've been a bit quiet, I suppose, recently, because this is stunning. Now, what I'm still hoping with all of this is that they're still thinking about doing the extension from Royston to Cambridge. That's still high on my agenda, even though we've got the lovely Nathan Smith doing it as well. Nathan Smith covers a lot of other bits and pieces. And I think this is just really interesting. This is going to be a network. It's not just going to be a route by the looks of it, one line. It seems to be a combination of a few, which is quite nice. So it should have a lot of scenario potential, especially being up northeast as well. There should be a lot of freight potential. I don't know if I'm right with that, but I always seem to think of the northeast as having a fair bit of freight going through it. Neutral section's all done nicely there as well. And performance-wise, I'm even running this at slightly better looking, in slightly better looking settings than I usually run, and I am hitting my 30 FPS limit. So for those of you that don't know, and I've said this a million times before, I limit my FPS at 30. Just makes my gameplay slightly more stable, and also OBS records at 30 frames a second, so I can't get any more than Train Sim's producing anyway. So. Make no difference to you guys. And the reason these settings are slightly higher isn't on purpose. I didn't think, oh, I'll make the route look better, I promise you. I wanted it to run. But since I've reinstalled Train Sim, I haven't had the chance to go through and do it. So if you look at the 91 video and the APT video, both of those will be at what Train Sim set its default high settings at, because I forgot to go in and change stuff before I went in. And while I've messed around with my anti-aliasing, I haven't changed shadows too much. So I seem to have shadows. And still hitting good frames, so I'm not moaning. And for those of you that moan about me not having headlight flares on, guess what? They're still off. I don't have them on. I don't think they look very realistic. I know on certain trains you need them on for certain lights to work, but I think it makes a difference to this 43 at all, really, actually. Very pretty. So that's just on the approach into Darlington now. So I think Darren said in the blurb was quite a hefty amount of AI at Darlington. So we should probably experience a bit of frame drop there, but so far this thing's running like a dream. Sorry, yeah, for the cough and the... I'll try not to sniff on the video, I promise. I'm still a bit bunged up and all that jazz. But I couldn't not do this video. It's looking good. I mean, again, this is just these freeware developers smashing the whole thing out of the park. Completely and utterly showing up. I mean, the railings, everything, it's... And I'm pretty sure this is probably the model from a long time ago. Yeah, it still looks good. Don't you look at your watch, mate? I'm on time. He says. About a minute late. Right. I've got to switch ends now. Let's just put my tail lights on. Those, that. That. That there. Train supply should be off there. I want it on back here, don't I? Alright then. We've got the road when we're ready. Oh, look at the buffered one. Is she pretty? I actually really like the buffered HSTs. That's purely because they were DVTs for the 91 sets. The 91 and Mark III sets. So historically, I think they're quite important. I really like that bridge done. It's got that real sort of 80s, 70s, 80s round perspexy feel to it, isn't it? Right, we're ready to go. There's also a really good one at the SECC in Glasgow. Yeah, bye to you too, love. Give me a little wave off, that's fine. I know this is really stupid, right? But something that always bothers me about the people in Train Simulator, they never have a bag. Not a suitcase, not a rucksack. I think one guy has a briefcase, and there's not a man and a woman that have a briefcase. Oh, how are we doing for billboards? Alright, fair enough. It isn't come fly with me or whatever. Oh. Should have thought about that really, shouldn't I? So this is us heading down onto the Durham coast. Into that traction motor wine. What a train to be driving this route on. I mean, what a top choice. Oh, look at it. And what is that fencing? That's cool. And you've got the power slide down the bottom there. It's all very good. Traveller sight down on the right there. One thing I can say is I've never been on this route in my life. So I don't know how much of an accurate representation it is, so I'm relying on you guys for that. Those of you that know this route, and there's a few of you from this part of the world, so tell me, does it look right? Does it feel right? Oh, and I love the blocked off rails there. Just makes you think, doesn't it? You don't know a route, you're like, I wonder where that goes. I'm sure quite a lot of you will know. Oh, do HSTs cast as DMUs for speed signs? Now there is an interesting question. Because I don't know. Tide and Weir 142. Is that just for like a tiny bridge or something? Like the Wherry lines. Soft bit of track. That's a 30 limit for all of us. So I'm just reading whether I can do what speed I can do. No, we're classed as HST. As far as I can read. This is very nice. There are not many route developers that can make me feel this immersed in a route, and you know, like, want to keep coming back and playing it. We're still using assets that are already available. Do you know what I mean? That's the really nice thing. But they're not overly reused, or if they are, they're done in a very subtle way. And the attention to detail, things like this. How many of you grew up on Radburn designed council estates that had little bits around the back with garages in it, where you used to go and smoke fags and do things you shouldn't do? DTG wouldn't think to model that. They'd have plonked a house there to represent a house. Whereas DPS put a bit of effort in. Just trains are just as bad for it. It's like it's the little bits that don't matter. Things like this. Crossings that have a little bit of sort of openness to them. The sign is there. The path's there. The fencing hidden behind before you get to the buildings. You can tell an industrial estate or a business park from a housing estate. It just looks like backs of playing fields where you get naughty kids trying to get in and have a look. As a kid, these were the sort of places I loved, right? If we were going to a builder's merchant or even to a shop or to somewhere new or a car boot sale, and you saw a bit of fencing that was a bit like a railway line, even if you couldn't see the track, you knew behind that was a railway line. Or you'd hear trains, you'd start looking out for bits of it. And I think this looks like an airport. This is an airport. You start looking out for things. And that's sort of what these routes do for me. They give me that little bit of nostalgia that I don't think you get in lots of other routes. So I mean, this section of straight track could be very easily have been very plain. And it's not. Different lengths of grass even make a big difference, don't they? You've got the field that side with some tufts, and then you've got some really built up stuff over here and overgrown bits. Add some texture to the ring. I do apologise about the banging behind me. I was expecting to get this done before they'd start. It's like I'm slightly excited from what I'm about to find out and see and look at. And North Wales coast the other day, cool level crossing. Like how the angles are on that. North Wales coast I did. Oh, now we're back to semaphores. Awesome. Yeah, I was looking forward to that route. And I was interested in it, and I thought it was a nice route. Have I had much of an urge to go back and drive it? Not really. I've been to Crewe a few times. Let's look at the APT. Really liking this. There you go, a playing field. A rugby field. So you guys will know where we are. No idea. Blue XC90. Where's the black one? Trains backing on from your house. Cool. Well, I'm accelerating at 30 now, aren't I? Oh, what's all this? Where are we? There's no station signs yet either, so... Oh, hang on, I kind of recognise this. Oh, we have got a street to the side. Eagles Cliff. It's quite a distinctive station, isn't it? Yeah, it definitely is something about grass heights and things that just really... The texture of the ground does add to the immersion. I like how you can blatantly tell this has been rationalised at some point. So it probably was about 4 tracks here. Maybe sidings over that side. Time's taken to do these routes. And I mean, like I said, I've got no idea when we'll actually see this released. But I'll tell you something. If the rest of it is 50% as detailed as this, I'd be a happy man. It's really simple things. Sorry, I should have shown you that and spoke to you about that. Apart from my evil transit being there. It's simple things like the trucks that were here. There's just a bit of variety in them. I mean, what you got there? There's an FL7 or FH7? An 8? I can't remember. Or FH. Oh, I can't remember. Old now. Like, it makes me think, where's that line going? Oh, look at the greenhouses and stuff. And a different style of building. Little pebble dash bungalows. You know you're getting up north when you get a bit of pebble dashing? There's obviously been some modern work, so somebody's put some wooden cladding on sides of houses. Ooh. There's some fun in that place. So it's still 11 miles out of Hartlepool. What's that over there? Is that like an old depot? No, it just looks like one of the buildings. Cool, like a distribution warehouse or whatever. No white and red double-decker bus either so far. You know what I mean? It looks like the sort of place you should be able to just, you know what I mean, just stop the train and go and find a nice pub. You can always find a decent pub up north. Northern Spirit 156. Oh, going a bit fast. Loving the semaphores as well. Those like proper like junctions. It's just not usual HST territory, is it? So I've just actually read in the README, I'm one of 4 people only to have this. Should really keep my eye on my speed instead of the route. So that's 8 miles out of Hartlepool now. So just this station signage, I said earlier that it wasn't, loving these really tall signal boxes. The station signs weren't there. It says here further in it to the thing that no station signs including this build. New unbranded ones will be created further down the line. Any signs that are there are from the East Coast Main Line Northeast, which is the DPS route, and they're just purely placeholders. There's quite a few places it mentions about there being large expanses of green. Have you noticed them, guys? Because I haven't. It all looks pretty tidy to me. Sorry, the attention to detail on the track side of this place is unreal. Another very good allotment over there. The way every building is placed does not make it look out of place either. It's not just been plonked there, time's been taken to blend them in. Which I think is an art form. These guys that do these freeware stuff for us, let's remember they're developers, they'll call themselves. They're also bloody artists. Modelers. These people are taking blank canvases and turning them into works of art. There's going to be some people having a field day with this though. The scenario potential is pretty immense. Farms are nice. Slurry pits and sewage works and barns. You just like the DPS East Coast Main Line North East, you'd have paid for that happily. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you the requirements list either yet, and I'm sure that is subject to change, probably not, but at the moment it is not extensive at all. It really isn't. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, see, there's some definite freight stuff going on, isn't there? They've just smashed it out of the park. Completely smashed it out of the park again. And this is one bit. This is one bit I've shown you. This is a network. And I'm hoping to be able to bring you more regular content from this as well, so when it is extended or when there is additions or when things have been updated, I should be able to just go, yeah, there you go, sweet, look at this, guys, look at this new bit. And then by the time it is available, you have a good idea what you get, and you'll already all have really cool scenario ideas in your heads. Up in mining territory, there's all slag heaps beside us, I don't know. I'd be guessing if said there were. But as I said, guys, you that know this route, let me know what you think it looks like. Because to me, as somebody who doesn't know it personally, yeah, just blown away again by DPS. Is that a prison or something? I don't know. Don't know if I'm allowed to do this. Yeah, no. This is us coming into Hartlepool. What can I say? Amazing. Got a lighter coloured fencing near new build houses. Just has yeah. Stunning. Bar station signs. There is nothing in this so far that they should not be incredibly bloody proud of. Performance is good. It looks beautiful. Scenario potential is massive. Yeah, massively impressed. I'm hoping my screenshot doesn't give too much away. Alright then guys, thank you ever so much for joining me. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe to this video. Please remember, don't ask me when this is coming out or where you can get it from, because you can't yet. Go and give DPS some love. Download some of their stuff, leave a donation, do what you usually do guys, and wow, just wow.